Water quality. Water quality, we have a few things. We've talked about these already. We're going to hit them one more time very quickly. We'll get through this thing. Silt content. Generally from runoff from upstream is going to be the silt problem. Either flood conditions or poor farming practices cause that. It doesn't necessarily come from farm ground. It can come from forest ground. It can come from range ground. It can come off other fields upstream from you. Silt load is going to come down once in a while. You get real heavy downpours and hit flood conditions, there's going to be silt content in the water. Now, you know, in some areas they actually use that as the next year's fertilizer. That's how the Nile River used to repropagate itself every year. All the floods in the winter would come down and put a new layer of silt on the lowlands, and they would have new fertilizer effectively on the soil. They have new, fresh, fertile soil to grow the next year's crop on. That doesn't happen anymore that way. All the dams in this world, we don't see that happening anymore. We control that water too much to let that happen, but we still have silt as a problem that sometimes we're pumping. It can really gum up some systems. You get silt in a drip system, it'll just be a nightmare. And it's real hard on the filtration systems when you have a high silt load coming in on a drip system. It's the worst thing you can have, is a lot of silt coming in. Industrial waste is another problem. And we talked about some of those industrial waste, particularly out of food processing, which is the norm here in this part of the country, where we could have added salts to the water, which is the next one as well, salts. Some of that can be built into the problem. But we can add salts in food processing that ends up on the ground. Greases can be a problem industrially, and heavy metals. Again, to highlight those. And then salts that are already in the water, they're coming downstream, that have been leached out of ground upstream from where your water outlet is. So we have to know if we have a salt load coming down to be able to know how much leaching we're going to have to deal with in our property if we're applying salts with the water that we're using for irrigation. In the Northwest, we're real lucky. We don't have that problem. Different story in parts of California and Arizona. It's a big problem.